one of the biggest piece of advice I can give just came to mind was when I decided to release.
Yeah.
Just let go and be okay not knowing exactly how it's going to happen, how exactly maybe the help will come, how exactly to do it, and just take one step at a time, you
Hmm.
know. So
Yeah.
I and also just realizing I wasn't alone, and my
Uh,
mom's not alone, and my dad's not alone, and my sisters and brothers aren't.
yeah.
And it's sometimes you don't learn things till you actually walk through them, or you can
Absolutely.
comprehend, maybe you read a book or whatever, but when you're actually walking it, yeah. So I
Yeah.
just feel like a lot of that, the 40 and older, or again, you may be younger and you're having this because of a situation
Hmm.
that we don't know, or you're having to care for somebody that you hadn't planned, and
And
it's a process.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
welcome everyone to Answers for Elders Radio Network, heard across the USA on your favorite podcast channel and here on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you're going to see this amazing, beautiful woman that I have known for 20 some years, believe it or not. And I am so honored to introduce to my listeners this amazing individual, Tracy Cromwell. Tracy, that one of our four hosts for the new show Vivatude, coming to YouTube on September 22nd. Tracy, welcome to Answers for Elders.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm so excited. I'm so
It,
excited to
you
be
know,
here.
it's
And
just it's time. It's just like the countdown now, and it's
yeah.
so exciting. We are starting a brand new sister show, and the show is called Vivitude, and it's basically for that woman that's 40 plus that may need kind of a reinvention or regeneration of her life. Like, what's in your next chapter? And, there's a lot of us that are over 40 that are also family caregivers, those that are in the sandwich generation, where if you're a woman or you know someone that is juggling, different types of obligations and trying to make some sense of her life, this program is totally for her. And we are centering all of the content on the show around a study that was done by the University of Colorado called the Eight Foundational Principles of Wellness. And so each one of our hosts actually represent two of the foundational principles. And Tracy, today, you are our physical and environmental wellness expert and host. And so I am so excited to talk to you a lot about your story, Tracy, and so excited to have you as part of the team.
Well, I'm so honored that you thought to reach out to me and to have me be a part of this exciting chapter. And I still, you talk about how long we've known each other, and I think about how we met and all the stories along that line. And who would have thought?
I had brown hair back
You
then.
had brown hair, and yeah, and who would have thought we'd be sitting here right now? This is not what we
I
were doing
know.
when we met.
We've been through the ebbs and flows of life and,
Mhm.
loss, severe loss. I think when I met you first, I had just lost my father and I
Mhm.
was devastated.
Mhm.
And then you went through some trauma in your life
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the thing that I love about our friendship is that we have always been that person that lifts the other person up. And I
Mhm.
think one of the things that's the whole foundational idea is this new show primarily is for women, but it's about lifting each other up. It's about supporting the growth that we go through and
Mhm.
the journey of, midlife. Obviously,
Mhm.
midlife is interesting because it's very different today than what I was, at midlife, now that I'm over
Yeah.
65. Tracy, what are you seeing right now as far as that woman over 40 in her willingness and desires to regenerate her life physically and environmentally?
Right. And I can take an example from myself and then some of my clients as well was, I was transitioning, older parents, a mom who needed care, extensive
Mhm.
care. and still had, although, yeah, still I'm gonna have to do some math here if I still had kids at home or not, but also had a full-time career. And
Hmm.
so I was, there was a lot of challenge on like, how do I honor taking care of myself?
Hmm.
How do I do that? And
Hmm.
there's a point in time I gave up because I just didn't know what to do. And so I find that there's a lot of women in that position where you're in a state where you're caring for your own family, your kids, or your parents. You may even not have children, but you have a pretty extensive career. And then we have amazing parents that we want to make sure are taken care of. So I see as people are going into that age, all of a sudden going, oh my gosh, we didn't even think about this.
Hmm.
We didn't see this coming. And I
Wow.
admit I was one that was kind of blind to it. We moved out here to Ohio from Ohio when I was really young. And so I didn't have experience around aging grandparents or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that. And so I was
Well,
just,
and Tracy, what you're
yeah,
saying is so true because I think a lot of us, we live our lives in such a vacuum. There are
yeah,
so many directions that we're pulled into so many areas.
yeah,
We just don't take the time to center ourselves to say, what's happening to me inside through
right.
all of
And
this?
just stepping back, and then sometimes that can be kind of scary. You don't want to see what is going on because that then maybe the brain's going to be, well, phew, how do I even manage this? So I think a lot of women are going through that, and it can actually happen at different ages depending on the age of your
Hmm.
parents or
Hmm.
what's going on in your life. So it's about how do I, the questions can be, gosh, is this it? Um, Everyone says at 40 it's kind of over, and I'm just going to hang it up and
Yeah.
that, or there's a voice that says, okay, no, I'm 40. I'm I would like to really create a future for myself that is vibrant and full of life, and where I see opportunity for me to age in a way that is lively and have a mindset that and an environment and a physical body that allows me to care for my parents, allows me
Hmm.
to be there for my family, allows me to
Hmm.
have a wonderful career. And so figuring out just how do I create that? So
Hmm.
I find that people are trying to make those choices and seeing how that
Right.
can happen.
And national statistics for a family caregiver, that is amazing. Heart
Mhm.
disease at twice the national average.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obesity on the rise,
Mhm.
addiction on the rise. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
scenarios where, family caregiving, trying to juggle career, trying to take care of your family. And then also a lot of people, like when I was the sandwich generation, when I was in that age group, it's the average sandwich generation ran about 4 years. Well, it's
That's a
not
lot
that
longer
anymore. It's
now.
it's actually twice that now,
Very long.
where you're talking about kids that are staying at home longer
Yeah.
and seniors are living longer.
Yeah.
So what's happening is basically there's this inertia that's happening in that over 40 age group where
Mhm.
there is so much more of a longer time of their lives that they are caring for so many
Mhm.
people around them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times they just get overwhelmed and so they just give up. Like what you talk about. It's like I just have to be there for everybody else and I forget about me. And I know I
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that concept of I think too of in my experience, the brain doesn't like change and it doesn't want
Yeah.
anything that's outside of what the plan was.
Right.
So you throw in anything that you didn't have planned for. And there's that kickback, there's the inner battle, there's maybe some frustration towards
Hmm.
your aging parents, or you have frustration towards your child, or
Hmm.
whatever. It's trying to put some kind of um, a, a reason for your strife, and so
Right.
going through even that aspect, and it
Hmm.
is longer. I realized with my mom, it started a lot sooner than we even realized, and
We're in denial.
but it's been a long care process with my mom
Hmm.
and a long aspect of making sure she's okay. And so And I think one of the biggest piece of advice I can give just came to mind was when I decided to release.
Yeah.
Just let go and be okay not knowing exactly how it's going to happen, how exactly maybe the help will come, how exactly to do it, and just take one step at a time,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
I and also just realizing I wasn't alone, you know, and my
Uh,
mom's not alone, and my dad's not alone, and my sisters and brothers aren't.
yeah.
It's sometimes you don't learn things till you actually walk through them, or you can
Absolutely.
comprehend, maybe you read a book or whatever, and but when you're actually walking it, yeah. So I
Yeah.
just feel like a lot of that, the 40 and older, or again, you may be younger and you're having this because of a situation
Hmm.
that we don't know, where you're having to care for somebody, not something, but somebody that you hadn't planned. And
And
it's a process. So
yes, and you work with primarily a lot of different types of women and men as well
mhm.
on
Yes.
personal wellness. And we're going to talk about in our next segment really what is physical and what is environmental wellness. And in the meantime, Tracy, how do we reach you?
Oh, you can find me at tracycromwell.com is my website.
And
And, and I'll be
and
on the
we're gonna
Vivatude page.
yes, absolutely. Or you could go to vivatude.com soon,
Yes.
and we'll be right
Yes.
back right after this. And thanks for listening. 4 hosts, one each week. We help you revivitude your next chapter because purpose, passion, and prosperity isn't out there. They're already within you. Brighter, bolder, truer. Vivitude.